Before we get to the exposure of that, I want to get to the consistent denial that he was not taking HGH and that this was all natural. And if you just do everything that the Liver King tells you to do, then you will be as fit and as strong as he is. So here's a supercut of all the multiple times this man has denied being on performance-enhancing drugs. So here they are.
Can they get a build like yours without taking them?
So I want to set the record straight. I want to expand and tell you why it's possible.
A year ago, maybe 2 years ago, it was all about like PEDs and steroids, right? And then, you know, same question, same answer. I didn't touch the stuff, don't touch the stuff, right?
Joe Rogan criticized you. Joe Rogan's a big person in terms of his platform is big. How did that feel when he said, he alluded that you're on steroids or something like that?
Yeah, number one, I don't do it.
What is the Liver King's response to this claim that the Liver King is hormonally improved by science?
The question has always been, do you take steroids? Do you take PEDs? The answer to that is no. I've always told the truth. I still tell the truth.
So I think when people see someone with your physique, they look at it and they think there's something going on here. There's gear, there's steroids, there's performance enhancing drugs. Talk to us about, you know, whether you use performance enhancing drugs or steroids or anything to get this physique.
Listen, I love this question. I've been getting this question since high school, and it's done more to lift the Liver King brand and message than any other question. So I hope you asking it now continues to do the same. The short answer is no. I don't touch the stuff.
If you ever Google Liver King's blood work, we had a legitimate doctor come on. We did like a blood work reveal. That was fun. But then the accusations never stopped. So I'm like, okay.
Well, I assumed you were on steroids. I was talking to one of your guys, and I was like, yeah, he's on steroids, right? Like, people don't look like that. He was like, no, he's not. And I think.
Now, of course, as I already alluded to, this guy is a bald-faced liar and consistently lied over and over and over again. And I might suggest that you feel this way, but I know I certainly do, that it still amazes me to a degree when I see people like Liver King and people like Lance Armstrong and others who keep such a straight face and are actually relatively good liars. Now, Liver King is a bad liar because everybody knew he was lying because the evidence is right in front of your face when you see the guy. What Joe Rogan said about him is absolutely right. Here's Joe saying that.
Parts and he just looks weird.
He's got a filled with steroids is what he's got.
Yeah, he should have a big plate of steroids next to it.
That is not a natural body.
Of course it's not.
That guy is shooting all kinds of into his system to achieve that kind of physique.
So it was clear the guy was on drugs. But the reason that I bring this up in the context of real manhood is because real men don't lie. They tell the truth. This guy was a poser and a charlatan from the very beginning. And so the first thing I'll say about it is I can't blame him per se. If you can make big bank and people are foolish enough to follow you down the primrose path, there's something about capitalism that makes way for people who want to spend their money to feel good about themselves, even if they're being lied to. It's this kind of free will argument. I don't like it, but I almost can't blame a man that is amoral or immoral doing this kind of thing and treating people as suckers, because some people want to be suckers because it makes them feel good. Now, we should blame him because at the end of the day, he was lying and he is a charlatan and he was selling himself. And true charlatanism looks like this. A charlatan is somebody who supposes that they have a secret kind of wisdom or that they have some deep, deep knowledge that they need to impart to other people that others don't know. And the reason we can blame the Liver King for what just took place, and we should be mad at him, is because he consistently sold himself. See, some people are saying, oh, well, he's on steroids, but so what? I mean, he still had to work hard. He still had to build his empire. He still had to do what very few other people could do that had nothing to do with steroids. So just the fact that he's using steroids, is it that big of a deal? Well, yeah. When you're selling yourself and what you're saying about yourself is a total lie, then it is a big deal. But this sets the stage for something bigger, I think, which is that consistently in society, as we move away from traditional roles, we are elevating the trendy over tradition. What we should be placing our trust in is things that are a little less sexy, a little less splashy, but just things that we've known, time-tested tradition in terms of diet and what actually works and in terms of what actually makes an individual healthy, which is none of the things the Liver King was selling. Sure, the meats that he was suggesting getting good sleep and working out. All of those things are great, but it came along with a whole bunch of lies to try to market himself. And it reminds me that the issues that I already illustrated with marriage are an indication of this very thing, that we love the trendy and we're attracted to the trendy, but the traditional is what really ultimately matters at the end of the day. And so I'll just say this: real masculinity isn't about trends, and it isn't about selling an individual. It's about standing by time-tested truths that have nothing to do with you, that aren't about you. See, the person who has real courage is willing to distance themselves from their platform in order to tell the truth. But that's not what the Liver King was willing to do. Sure, build a platform, but build it on the truth. Have the courage to stand up for what is right. Put some marketing in there and all of that stuff, but have the courage to stand up for what is right. And that's what real masculinity looks like. Very many people have fallen for this false view of masculinity that Liver King and others have been portraying because they've elevated the trendy over the traditional. So you just got done watching a small excerpt of a much larger episode. You can find the link to that full episode down below in the description of this video. So you definitely need to check that out, because if you like that clip, you'll like the much larger episode. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and click that little bell to be notified when great new episodes of Indie Thinker come your way. Thanks for watching.